All right, guys, as we begin to enter in a new journey of a new year, a new season, beyond 2016, we've fallen into the 2017 marker. There's a lot of people with disbelief and things are not showing the way that they want. I got one word to say to you guys: hold on. With two words. But you cannot lose sight in what your main goal is. Free agency is just a period, just an off-season ploy to those who don't understand collectively what the NFL is all about. Shout out to those who've been following the channel from the start as I approach 11,000 followers. That's a plus. Shout out to Super Tiger too as well. 2607 Max. Shout out to Max in the house. Ryan Martinez and J Wad. Shout out to you two as well. As we enter into this free agency talk, this is a tracker that's on the website actually. Feel free to go there, check out everything. As we can see, Kellen Moore is on the top of the list, of course, backup quarterback. And then we got our choices to pick with Mark Sanchez, whether or not he's going to be able to stay on the team or what have you. Lance Dunbar, we understand his degree and what he can do for the team and stuff like that. Port 184 and Bruno. Yeah, shout out to you too as well, Chris Flowers. Those who are joining in. Not going to stay long on the channel. I'm actually going to post this new feed to Facebook too as well. So those who are continue to want to actually listen to what I have to say, my points of views and stuff like that, please hit me up on Facebook too as well. But let's get this party rocking and rolling, as I have more than one or two people in this room. As we look at these positions, we break it down to the smallest nanosecond or to the smallest element. We got Bryce Butler, right? Project player, as we all know. We picked him up from the Raiders a couple years ago, and he seems to come into the ability of playing the position if he can put his mind into it, right? But we got him for a 1-year deal, and that's right at the range of $1.1 million. So we're gonna see. It's a try me out section. So we're gonna see what he can do. Shout out to Dak Prescott too as well, the GOAT. That's in the chat box, and Mike Gracia, Bears #1. But as we look at Terrence Williams, of course, now that was a contract out of this world, right? Managed to give us the best hometown discount that you can ever find anywhere. 4 years for $17 million. One can argue and say that's not a prove me contract, right? Because most of the time they'll be like the Alshon Jefferson contract, that 1-year deal, or whatever the Terrell Pryor contract that he signed with the Redskins. That's a try me out contract. But this contract is for a long run. 4 years, $17 million. There has to be some type of extra incentives in there. And you got Escobar, you got Jonathan Cooper, of course, Ron Leary. He's gone to the Broncos. Now, that's a hole that the Cowboy Nation will have to fill on their line. You cannot play a dominant football game with your left guard not being there. Now, your left tackle, of course, you need your left tackle. But the left guard is the person that can set up the run very well. It kind of swings out on the actual block when you run it to the strong side. So those things that you have to put into mind. If Collins can stay healthy and if he can play smart and not get dumb penalties and be out there on the line, then that would be a plus. But at this time, you got to fill in the void or the space that Doug Free had left behind. And granted, we all know about Doug Free, right? We know that the kid had a lot of issues giving up the pass protection, but he was great. He was solid in run protection. But this year, it was just like a 50-50 year for him. But push comes to shove. Now we got the likes of kids like the Chaz Green or Jonathan Cooper. If we're gonna sign this guy right here, we're gonna be able to get him out there on the forefront. But that's a horse of a different color. It's the story of a told from a different day. But we do know that we lost Jack Crawford. He was one of my dark horses in this particular defense. But guess what? There's things to come, right? David Irving. what can David Irving do for us, right? Show flashes, just a prominent player with limited snaps. Can he play the full 16 weeks? Can he play full 60 snaps that we're looking for in per game? Can we do that? Shout out to How About Them Cowboys, and really, how about them Cowboys, right? DG Productions, shout out to you too as well. That's in the actual room for those people who've been following the channel. You guys know who you are. Shout out to all you guys. But as we proceed to go down the list here, I kind of like Ryan Davis. He's one of those tweener type of players who we picked up from the Jacksonville Jaguars, I believe. But he's one of those guys that stood out to me. Great on run protection and stuff like that. As a defensive end, I didn't get a lot of protection, or didn't get a lot of blitz out of him from the edges and stuff like that, but he played a solid game when he was out there on the field. We lost Terrell McClain, of course. We all know, 4-year, $21 million. Shouts out to the Redskins for grabbing him, because I cannot play that guy for $21 million when he can only produce half of the snaps, right? Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell you guys right now. You heard it from me. I like this kid right here. Andrew Gaskar. Or Gatkars, I meant to say. I think that's how you say his name. I like what he brings to the team. I really like his tenacity. I like his hips when he run. He got very fluid hips. Point of direction is great. Now, of course, we need some more production out of him. And we already know what Justin Durant brings to the team. We already know what type of player he is. How can I put this? Just a veteran. But he's progress stopper at this point as it relates to what he actually brought to the team. I would like to see Hicks out there more. I'd like to see our guy Wilson out there more. Those who know who they are. We like to see those guys. Brandon Carr, I think we're going to figure out a way to get him back on the team. Although we hesitant not to, but we got to figure out a way, right? And just think about this right here. Brandon Carr is a solid player, believe it or not. He figures out a way to stay healthy and be out there on the field, whether or not he get burned for a touchdown, or whether or not he get lost on a route, or lost in transactions against a running back and stuff like that. Things like that. But he's still a solid player. As we look down to Barry Church, my man Barry is gone, right? Barry. Oh my. But it is what it is. The kid needed the money. And it was his last big contract that he can get. Shoot for the stars, right? So, as we all do know, we lost J.J. Wilcox. He's gone. And it's 50-50. The Buccaneers fans right now are just like, oh man, we got this guy that can hit and come down into the box. Not trying to throw shade or try to sully or excoriate his name or his presence or what he all did to the team. He didn't show flashes until this year, guys. Let's be honest with ourselves. I forgot the name of I think his name is Coach Baker. We picked him up this year. That coach did a lot of work for us, man, as it relates to Morris Claiborne. As it relates to Church too as well, and as it relates to Wilcox, I'm about to say Will Wilcox, but JJ Cox, that coach, he did a lot for us, man. And we're gonna figure out what all of that can transpire this year with a second, with him being in the process for the second season. That secondary coach is A+ for us. Believe it or not, Pro Football Focus had the Cowboys rated, I think, top 5 or maybe top 3 defensive backs collectively as a unit last year. So you just put that all together, we just going to be a whole lot better. And as I talk about the new acquisitions, of course, Josh McCown came in from the Browns to visit on March the 8th. Of course, nothing transpired, so we might not have the money. He might be looking for $5 million, which is a lot of money to pay for your backup. With me, in my opinion, I would go with the Kellen Moores of the world. I would rather go with that type of I'd rather go with that type of deal instead of using the new money that we got when Doug Free allegedly is retiring. I would want to trade Doug Free's money to get a Josh McCown. I still think that there's hitting players out there that Will McClay and my guy Rob Marinelli can find in the scrap heap just to help this team, because our core, believe it or not, whether you like it or not, is going to be this draft, and it's going to be from the draft, drafting the great defensive players that's in this draft. I looked at this guy all 22 film. I didn't post the 22 film, but I looked at his all 22 film. I did post his video today. Is this guy, if you go back to Rod Marinelli's defense, is a star. He's a real good star. He plays with a high motor. He can play the 3 technique. He can play wide. He can push him in. He can actually play nose tackle too. I saw him rotate in that position too as well. He got girth here. He can get great run stopper. He can put pressure, collapse the pocket. He put you in the mind of a better McClain that we have, and he puts you in the mind too as well as a better Thornton that we have too as well. So if you match those things up and you put Rob Marinelli's magic on it, the sky is the limit, guys. The sky is the limit. Just trust the process. Forget finish the fight. Trust the process right now, because that's what we're gonna have to do. And Nolan Carroll, I saw a lot of Eagles fans kind of bitter about the guy, saying he can't cover. I looked at his 22 film. I saw that he did well in covering Brandon Marshall. I think I can re-put that tape out there for you guys later on during this offseason. He covered Brandon Marshall pretty well. He got into the face of Odell Beckham pretty well. As you saw, if you go back and watch his highlight, the last clip that I have, he actually snatched the ball out of Odell Beckham's hand, which I call him Odella. He snatched the ball out of his hand, so I like that aggressive approach. Now, of course, he played for the Eagles, and I'm not going to throw shade or salt at the Eagles, because you guys know how I feel about the Eagles, right? But Carroll in a Rob Marinelli's defense will shine. And I mean, he's not the Brandon Carr of the world. So he's a little shiftier, a little faster, plays with his hips a little bit loose from what I can see on the tape and film. But just get that out of your mind, you know, of what he did with the Eagles or what he did with Miami. He's on the Dallas Cowboys roster now, and he's doing in our system. And just think about this: if we can get J.J. Wilcox to play in a subpar level, or we can get Church to elevate his level, and I ain't even talking about Heath yet, right? If we can get these guys to play at a high optimum level, what the hell you guys think Rob Marinelli gonna do with this guy, right? In his system, he's gonna improve these guys. So, and I was looking at this thing. We still have the guy that loved to sip and smoke the weed and on the lean. Where did guy? I thought I saw his name up here. I'm like, what is his name still doing on this list? Rolando McClain. What this guy's name still doing on this list, man? That's crazy, man. But that's all that I had to talk about with the free agency list and all that good stuff. I'm gonna try to see if I can find you guys and bring you guys on to the scene. See what you guys talking about. What's on your mind? Let me see. All right. Shout out time. Shout out to Lewis, Zachary Lewis. Shout out to you. I hope we keep McFadden. Yeah, I hope so too as well. I like what McFadden does to the team. I like what he brings to the team. I like his tenacity. I like that's my favorite word, tenacity. You know, that's just the pushing force or the pushing matter of the facts, right? I like what he brings to the team. Giannis. Yeah. What is it? Kiko Witherspoon? Or man, hit me up in the inbox, man, when the channel posts, and I'll look up that guy. I'll look him up. Love your channel from Weapon X 88. Shout out to you. Throw up the X for me right now, fam. Release Romo and get where? Okay. If we release Romo now, it's just not going to serve any purpose because they designated him as a June 2nd or June 1st cut. So right now, we just gonna just sit back on it. I kind of relate this to trading stocks. I don't know if you guys trade stocks. You guys need to, or just have your TSP or whatever your ROI. Have a few money, put it in the mutual fund. But there's only 3 positions whenever you're trying to sell or buy or stay put in stocks. Those are the 3 positioning in stocks. But if you got an asset and nobody's really beating down the door, but you feel like you have potential property or value in that asset, and you know for sure you're not going to yield anything greater than that particular product at that thus giving time, why not hold on to it, right? I'll just hold on to it. June 2nd, we get the cut. We cut them on June the 2nd, and we will be able to funnel that money back to us on the second wave. But the glory and the beauty of it is because think guys, use your mind. Use your mind for this. There's always a second wave in the free agency. And I'm just going to put it out there right here. These teams are going to do the drafting because the second wave is after the draft, of course. The second wave is also almost greater than the first wave, because what will happen here is that these teams are going to draft, right? They're going to go out there and they're going to draft a lot of players, and then they're going to release some of the good players that they feel like there's too long in the tooth for them or just not fitting a system, and there's going to be a wave of releasing, and that's when we can just say, okay, we use the Romo money then to get the second wave of free agency. That's playing long. There's 2 positioning as you trade, and people with long money like Jerry Jones, people who understand that by hook or by crook type of methods, is that there's 2 positionings when you decide to buy or sell or stay put, and that's going long or going short. So they're going long on Romo right now, and that's what it's going to be. They're just going to go long. Shout out to Cord Skaggs. He said the Cowboys sucks. Who's your team, fam? But it is what it is at this point. It is what it is. This singing players and bull in the draft, a super tiger. Signing players to build a draft or build depths, and that's exactly what they're doing. They signing these players to build the depths up. And they're gonna put in the core guys. The core guys are gonna be from the draft guys. And that's where the core is gonna be at. These are nothing but depth players that they're getting now. Playoff wins. Well, as I look at it from here, from Cord Skaggs, I hope I'm saying your name right. If you relate to a team relevant to playoff wins, still, believe it or not, the Cowboys have the most playoff wins than any other team in the NFL. So even if we lose next year or the year before, or year after that, or whatever, you guys are still trying to catch up, whoever your team is. But shout out to you for joining our team chat box. Well, go Broncos. Hey man, I respect the Broncos, but they still looking up, fam. They don't have 5. Hit me back up when they get 5. The only people that can talk to us right now with this type of mantra is the Pittsburgh Steelers of the world, and maybe I'll throw in the Patriots and this sort of thing. But outside of that, or the 49ers, maybe they can talk noise. But outside of that, if you're not those few teams there, then I have nothing to say. Shallow Zeke MVP. How? Yes, MVP 2017. He's going to bring it back up. Let me see, Yanis. Law, what are you doing with Doug Free situation? Who's right tackle? I said, Chad. Chad's going to have to step it up. But I don't know. You probably can push him back to the left and move Collins. It's a question right here of what can possibly happen. You kick Martin, because Martin is a smart guy, right? You got to be smart and you got to be flexible and fluent enough to play that right tackle position. You kick Martin out to the right tackle. You slide Collins into the right guard. That could be a scenario, That could be a scenario, guys. Or you slide Chad out there to the right guard and just kick Collins to the left guard. Those are things that they're going to try to look at. I still think that they're going to be out there looking for a veteran guard or a veteran tackle this offseason. And they're going to try to do that stuff, man. You know, that's just the bottom line. They're going to try to do things like that, of that nature. So, and that's just the problem when you got two big holes on your offensive line, and you got, you know, a good quarterback who can play, got a great wide receiver to the outside, and you still got Cole Beasley you got to worry about. So this draft is still just gonna have to just figure out what we're gonna do as far as defense, and that's exactly what they're gonna do is through the defense. Diego, I think Lyle Collins at guard, and Chaz Green needs to develop at tackle. Chaz can, if he can just stay healthy, that'll be a plus. Sidney Jones, this is from Nightmare Terror. Sidney Jones was injured and on his pro day, unknown injury, yet projected to be second or third round. I think he tore his Achilles or something like that, and he's going to be gone for at least 12 months. Bummer. Weapon X, honestly, Chaz can be better at free and right tackle. Yeah, relax, people. Yeah, he's right. Weapon X right, guys. He's right. He is absolutely right. Sarah McBride, we need to we need to go to the jam technique corner, ball out, always open for the Saints. Jam technique, that's press man coverage, right? I mean, you can jam, but that's dependent on the actual DB ability or cornerback ability. I think Anthony Brown is able to jam. He can do that pretty well. He can play up front, play up tight. He's bigger than what he appears to be. I kind of like his range. He got comeback speed. It's just that Carr, he's not able to play that particular technique on a consistent basis. But this year, depending on what safeties we get in the draft, if Frazier steps it up, if Heath plays better, Byron Jones, if he come down and play free safety a little bit better than what he's presenting out there on the field, then maybe our cornerbacks can play up tight and trust that the safety is going to be where they at. But that technique, I do know that Carr, he plays a hell of a great outside technique, but we're going to have somebody who's going to be able to take out the number one receiver and put pressure on the quarterbacks. If not, then we're going to have the same type of production. But just don't sleep on it, guys. Don't count out Jalen Smith, what he's able to do if healthy. I know he got a drop foot, but just don't count on that. And I'm gonna rewind back to what I was saying earlier. Don't count on the second wave of the free agency. There's going to be another spill of money come in when whatever happens to Tony Romo, when he is released. There's going to be an additional $5 to maybe $6 million. I think it's $5. But if he's able to get traded, then we just skirt off away from that horrible contract. Or he can do us a big favor like Doug Free did and just retire. That would be a plus. Garcia is tamper back issue for the future. It's degenerative. When I say degenerative, his back is just not going to stay healthy. But if they can put him on a pitch count basically and have this guy to come in only on key situations as far as pass rushing, then maybe we can prolong his career, because Ron Leary had degenerative knees, so we just saw that kid just sign a $20 million guarantee money. So it is possible. Blake, shout out to you too as well. Shout out to you, Adoree Jackson. Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys out there as far as kickoff returns and stuff like that. He's not a press man coverage as far as cornerback. He cannot play press man. He's just too small. He can hell of a zone. He can play in the zone. He can play maybe he can play into the slot. Maybe he can be like a Scandrick replacement or something like that down the line. But at the same time, you are not getting a slot cornerback with the first round. You're just not going to do it. I don't think you're going to try to do that even in the second round or what have you. So the only way Adoree Jackson will come to this team, unless he shows out at his pro day, or unless he unless he just falls to us, man. Jabril Peppers may be better of a project than Adoree Jackson, certain factors, but just don't sleep on that, But what I have to see. He said, how about the Cowboys? Stated that, what are your thoughts on DeMontre Moore? It's simple. I was looking at film on him. I've stopped, looking at film altogether of what he can actually bring to our team and how he will fit in altogether. So I'm gonna put a placeholder on that. I'm still working on his film, so I can get back with you guys on that maybe Sunday or later on tonight when I jump back on his tape. But shout out to Joe Paz. I think that's how you say your name, Paz, right? And is that Ty Clover 876? It's sad to see Doug Free leave. Man, hey man, it's the journey that every football player must take. Bobby J. Jones, I cannot say that guy's name, but I like him too as well. I looked at some of the film. J. Wadd, I feel like the Eagles are coming. Look, no doubt, the Eagles got. Let me break down the Eagles for you guys, and I do know that the Eagles are one of our foes. They're getting better. They had a great defense last year, although they only won one game. We could have probably won both of the games, or we could have lost the first game, just depending on what transpired through the game altogether or what happened. But their team, they always play tough, and they had decent receivers before, but they just couldn't catch the ball, right? The kid is Jerry Rice, a nephew or something like that. I keep forgetting this guy's name. J. Watt, know his name. Matthews, I think that's his name. Just can't catch a cold. We thought Terrence Williams can't catch, but that guy cannot catch. And then the Nelson Aguilar, whatever his name, got speed, shifty, but just can't catch. Him and a few other Mike Williams of the world, the USC receivers, is the reason why I'm not high on Juju Smith. I like Juju Smith. He can catch. He got big hands, and it just looks like he just running effortlessly. Reminds you of a Julio Jones in a sense, or Dez Bryant with a sure hands. That's what Juju Smith is. Go look up his film. Let's look up his tape. But he from USC, But let me jump back to the Eagles, man. The guys still. Carson Wentz, although he only passed the ball no more than 5 yards, now he got targets, right? Now they got, Alshon Jeffries, who's known to be a Cowboy killer at that time, and then we just don't know how these new cornerbacks are going to be able to play Alshon Jeffries. Now, the one thing that I can say, if you can put maybe a car back on him, and maybe we can create more pressure to Carson. Well, Carson's going to get that ball out real quick next year. He's going to be more knowledgeable of his particular offense, and this is going to be hell to deal with, especially if they go out and grab a Joe Mixon's of the world, or even they get Leonard Fournette, whoever the Eagles get as far as a running back. But in my opinion, they should go out and grab an offensive line to protect the asset. Let me jump back into the chat box. Jesse. Yeah, he is coming for Jerry World, similar to a World Wonderland, and whatever you talking about, shout out to that. Revis is a safety. There's Dizzy Tons Vivo. Let me break down Revis a little bit before I slip my mind. I like what Revis does, I like what he did, back in the days. Now, him far as playing safety, I have to look at his tape and film and see how he tackle. Being a safety, you got to be willing to put your nose in it. You got to be able to put your nose so deep in it that you can just spin it around. You got to be nasty. You got to play with tenacity. You got to play with range. And one thing that we do know about Revis, he's not the fastest guy in the world. He got good vision, got great in coverage, but he's just not that fast beast that's out there. So that's what things that hunts my mind if you're thinking about Revis out there on an island, single high safety, and he can't get to the ball. That's not going to be able to fly well with us fans. And the guy, he going to want money. He come from money. That's all he think about is money. So unless he want to come to the Cowboys for dirt cheap, get it out your mind. How about them Cowboys? Don't forget Torrey Smith, Law Nation. They added him too. Yeah, that's why I meant to say Torrey Smith. He's a shell of himself, but hopefully, coming from Colin Kaepernick trying to pass on the ball and Blaine Gabbert for crying out loud. Hopefully, Carson Wentz can probably put the ball better in his hands or something like that. So we'll come. I welcome all competition. Don't want to run from it. Want to be able to fight hard for it, right? I don't want nothing free. So we got to get out there and fight. I'm not finna say finish no fight, because I want you to start the damn fight. I don't want you to finish no fight. I want Cowboy Nation. I want us to go out there and start the damn fight. Don't finish the fight. I want you to start it and trust the process. What do you think? This from Jeffrey Jackson. How do you think we will draft in the first round? I think we're going to draft pretty well. Second round is always a question with me, with the Cowboys, since we like to take risks and gambles at the second round pick, but I'm hoping that with the first round, we can just pretty much get out there and make something happen. Young Nas, Pats to the Super Bowl again. The Patriots are doing so many good things right now. They got Ely, Cone Ely from the Panthers. They went and grab Stephon Gilmore, and that guy's a ball hog, and they still got Malcolm Butler, and they're working on some other things. So the Patriots are doing what they're doing, and you just never know. You just never know with that coach down there. And watch, somebody gonna trade for Jimmy G if that not already happened. They're gonna give a lot of picks away for that guy. I think we should go get TJ Lang. Hey, that's from South Park guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gotta put a 9 on the end of that, fam. If they have TJ Lang, then that'll be a plus right there. Jack Davison. How do you think Brandon Marshall would do the New York Giants? Hey, man, let me tell y'all something, man. Brandon Marshall's going to have 1,300 yards this year. And I'm just telling you guys that the Giants love to toss the ball down the field. They scurry away from the run. And now you got somebody who can run the intermediate routes, who's not afraid to go across the middle, can pluck the ball out of the sky. And they got my guy Sterling Shepard, who is from OU, who is a beast. I liked him. I wanted the Cowboys to grab him. And they got that guy, Odella, and Brandon Marshall. Man, this is going to be just fantastic for the Giants. All they need to do is go grab them a running back and maybe go make some way. They should have got Ron Leary. They should find some way or somehow to get an offensive lineman. Point blank with a period. If they can find a dynamic tight end, then the Giants got a great avenue to look at. This is from I think that's Cillian O'Mahara. Love the channel, All Nation. Which free agent is Dallas gonna miss the most? I think Ron Leary. The free agent that we're gonna miss the most, believe it or not, is, like I say, we're gonna miss Jack Crawford, man. I like what he brought to the team, believe it or not. And then secondly, I think we're gonna miss Church. We're gonna miss the church services coming in on Sunday, looking for church services number 42, coming down into the box and making his plays and doing what he's doing. Gonna miss that, I wonder how much of his leadership is gonna rub off on Byron Jones. You guys know that I'm waiting for that. Just like last year, J Watt. What J Watt talking about? Frankie G, shout out to you. Just like the last year, JR. Yeah. Prescott 135. Process. Trust the process. Trust the process, guys. You gotta trust it. First time watching, loving what you do. This is from, I think this WR3KS Sports. Shout out to you. How do you feel about our current DBs? But just not joining in. I feel like our current DBs are we shouldn't have xenophobia for them. We shouldn't fear the unknown. Basically, I do know that Carr's still there, and we still got Claiborne. So if we can get a healthy Claiborne for 16 weeks, and possibly the playoff altogether. Claiborne can be Claiborne, what we saw with our eyes. Then we got it. We got a team around us. We should create t-shirts to be like this. Cowboys defense coming, baby. That's what we should do. Trust the process. We don't need to finish no fight. We need to start the fight. We need to get out there and rub people's nose into the dirt. We need to let them know that we're going to beat you down back to your mama. You know, that's what the Cowboy Nation needs to do. We need to stop. We need to play with a chip on the shoulder. Everybody need to play with the aspect of saying that, hey, you know, our DBs was rated number, you know, top 10 or top 5. And everybody think that we can't make no takeaways. Next year, just got to be able to just play with that tenacity, you know. If not, then we digressing. J-Wad, what did y'all do in the playoffs? Hey, you know, it is what it is. We made it there, though. This is Gracia. When is Randy Gregory be able to play? If, and I mean if with a capital I, if the NFL gets off their damn high horse and allow weed to be a substance in the NFL, unless it's not heroin or something that's attached to a domestic violence or something attached with a drug trafficking, then the kid should be able to play, man. The guy's bipolar. He uses the weed to self-medicate himself, and he found out that the other process of other drugs is just not suitable to his mind. So allow the guy to smoke a little here and there, you know, as long as he come to practice and put productivity out there on the court or out there on the field, I meant to say, then allow the guy to play. But the football league is trying to be this holier than thou type of process, whereas they're not allowing the players to be the players. You know, let them smoke the damn weed, is my opinion. But outside of that, we just don't know. This is from Willie E. Long. Looks like James Harden. James Harden looks like me. But it is what it is. Let me see. Draft Ball Hawks. Yeah, that's from Blake. Yeah, I would try to draft a Ball Hawk, but as we all know that we saw one Ball Hawk go down. Sidney Jones, one of my favorites. He's gone. Loke Law. Do you like Hightower from New England? I don't like Hightower at all. Let me tell you that. I love Hightower. I can imagine closing my eyes and watching Hightower on this defense. That's what Hightower wants. He wants that paper, baby, and we don't have the paper. Teddy Pendergrass. Yes. All right. So what team did Doug Free go to? No, he went to the house. He went to the house, fam. He's retiring. Free retired. Yeah, from Frankie G. Reckless 18-19. He need them to help them out to turn the ball over. I don't know who you're talking about. Just let me know. Mr. Zombie, I think that's your name, or Zombie 2E. Law, do you like Romo? Look, I'm gonna tell you guys, I don't like Romo at all. I love Romo. I love the fact what he brought to the team, his ability to put himself on the line, but at the same time, every page or every chapter must come to an end. And at this point, from a business aspect, it's time to turn it over. Like I say, my first car was a 1995 Honda Civic DX. I went and got a Votec or VTEC engine or V engine inside that engine, inside the car. I put Flowmaster pipes on it. I put the high-low Euro lights on the front and back. Put the tent. I put a cool air intake. I put a brand new manifold and all that good stuff on it. But at the end of the day, it was still a 4-cylinder car, and it would just not be a 8-cylinder car. Regardless of what it is, you can't put me back in a 4-cylinder car. That's just the bottom line. As you grow in life, you understand there's a process. My first car, I loved it. I had the 17 low profile inch tires on there. The thing is a beauty. But at the end of the day, you can't put me back in a Honda. I'm just not gonna go back. It did its productivity. It was one of the nicest cars that I ever had, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not riding a 1995 Honda Civic to this day. I'm not gonna ride it. And I'm not trying to say a Honda Civic is what Romo is, but he's damn sure not a Porsche or a Lexus at this point. He might be a small Lexus, an old school Lexus, but he's not a Porsche. And he's not going to be able to do the things that we want for this franchise. That's the point. That's the end of the topic there. I mean, the car I drive now don't have a timing belt, fam. And it's damn sure not 4 cylinders. When I press the gas, it's gone. And that's just how it is. Let me see who else in the chat about how about them Cowboys. This is a bunch of wide receivers to worry about. Yeah, but the wide receivers, and now the thing is how you can hurt wide receivers in our division is you run the ball. Zeke the freak, you feed the baby, you keep pounding, you score on all your drives, right? That makes the wide receivers press. And that means that if they playing from behind, they got to press on their routes. They're worried about if you can add pressure. Oh my God, if you can figure out about add pressure to the quarterbacks, because we do know that. Come on, although he managed to beat us twice, Eli Manning is just not going to be this guy that's going to have a flawless game. Come on, he's not going to pass 150 or 148.9, whatever the highest QB rating is in the game. Eli gonna be Eli at one point of the game, right? And Carson Wentz is gonna be Carson Wentz. He's not gonna just launch the ball all the way down the field, passing to Torrey Smith, just bombs away. He's gonna pass those little small dig routes and dump off passes. In my opinion, I could be wrong, and I hope Eagle fans hope that I am wrong, but they're just not gonna do that. And then we all know what third cousin, is gonna do, right? We all know what he's gonna do, right? You know, Kirk Cousin is a baby Eli. He's gonna give you at least one or two, you know. So I'm not worried about it altogether with these wide receivers. And Terrell Pryor, he's not nobody to sneeze at. But come on, child, please. All right, so. Let me see what else we got. Bobby J. Johnson, feed Zeke. Feed the beast, baby. Turn over Eli, Super Tiger 2607. You right, fam. Shout out to you. South Park guy 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. We still have the draft to get some good defensive players. You're right, 1000%. Louis Campos defense is gonna struggle. I don't think so, because they're not going to be on the field long enough to struggle. That's what I'm saying, fam. Louis Campos, they're not going to be on the field long enough to struggle. The only way this defense is going to struggle, unless the offense struggle. And I just don't see our offense going back a page. They're going to be serious out there, and they're going to be playing with the meanest. I mean, the meanest chip on their shoulders, or the biggest chip on their shoulder. Trust me. Willie E, thank you for that. 158.3. It's impossible for Eli to do that. It's not gonna happen. If so, then just let me know. Let me know how is possible, you know, Eli to pass a 158.3. If Zach Martin leaves, Zach is not going nowhere. Zach Martin is going to stay. If anything, Zach Martin may leave the guard position and kick him out to tackle. Push come to shove, you know. There's Jalen Smith. Shout out Jalen Smith in the house, baby. You got Jalen, Pia, Carroll, Tapper, McDuffie. These guys are from the Giants. The whole 16th rookie class and the whole draft future is bright. Yeah. The guy from the Giants. Are you talking about the Moore kid? Yeah, I digress on that. Yeah, Reckless 1819 Jerry Jones scares me. I hope he don't do anything pretty much stupid. Let me tell you, Jerry gonna be Jerry. And Jerry's gonna do what he got to do. And at the end of the day, he's the owner, GM, operator, the coach, the water boy, the scouting personnel, and all that for this team. And like I say, Jerry is not going nowhere. He's off his furniture. He's not going to be able to move him. So only hope is Stephen Jones can just say, hey, Pop, I got this. Or Dad, I got this. Or Will McClay, Will McClay are going to make the decisions from here. We all know who Jason Garrett is at this point, right? I'm not even going to bring that up. But this is how it is. Trust Jerry from Jalen Smith. Trust the process from just trust the process, guys. That's what we got to do, All right. Was it Josh Eifert? Ladarius Webb was cut by the Ravens yesterday. I would think he would be a good replacement for Barry Church. Got a point. But just not look at these. We still got to focus on the draft. And then, because what's going to happen, I'm going to repeat. This draft is going to come, right? This draft is going to come. And these guys are going to be able to get these teams, these players on these teams from all 32 teams, right? They're going to fill the holes with draft. And then they're going to cut some guys that you can be like, oh, why? They cut this guy. I can't believe they cut this guy. I'm going to scoop him up. We're going to have some Romo money, and we're going to have some other money that's going to be unforeseen from now. And we're going to be able to make some moves. I really think that we trust the process, guys. You hear it first from me. Trust the process from Will McClay. He's going to be able to do some things. Mark my word. All right, this is from Mr. Zoom. Zeke or Jordan Howard. How about that? How about it, Law? How about that? Jordan Howard. Are you trying to say O.J. Howard? Because I can only imagine O.J. Howard being in this offense, being a great understudy from Jason Witten. Oh my, man, that's going to be something that we all need to look forward to. That's something that we really need to see. Something that I would like to see, at the end of the day. That's something that I would love to see out there. And what is this? Willie E. Will McClay should be the new GM. I mean, he is the GM, just not by title. And Jerry is not going to give up that. James Sorrell, people got to relax about the schedule. We are going to be able to play anybody. Yes, my brother from another mother, James, you are speaking the language that I speak. Don't worry about the schedule at all. What we need to worry about is nothing. Only if the team, if we can stay healthy, that'll be a plus. Now, this is the other thing that I'm looking at it from here. Now, and I mean if with a capital I, the other teams need to be worried about us. They need to be worried about how they're going to stop Zeke, how they're going to stop this quarterback who can pass the fade route now, who can pass intermediate routes, and also going to be able to launch that ball to somebody. We're going to figure out somebody who can run a low 4.3 or 4.4. Maybe it's McDuffie. Maybe McDuffie can do something. And like I said, I don't like project players. For the last few years, project players have not been the top of my likings. But what if McDuffie is just this fast John Ross type-esque guy that can get open, right? Not saying I'm not calling him John Ross, but what if John Ross is on our team? Can you imagine that too as well? But it's going to be wide open for a lot of things, man. Most players stated that, like Parcells, year 3 is always the year that you blossom and bloom. Maybe Lucky Whitehead can bloom and blossom to a dynamic player this 3rd year. Or maybe Byron Jones can actually catch the ball when the ball hits him in his hand, as far as a turnover machine or something like that. Who knows, man? All we got to do is trust the process, guys. Trust. Yes, Bobby J, DC4L, for life, Blake, exactly long. Thank you for that. Max, my guy. Our schedule isn't tough because teams like Browns and we dead. Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Williams, that way, you right. What else we got? Them boys run the East. John Ross is too little. Maybe so, but Corey Davis or the Sutton kid that played for SMU. We got some receivers out there. Zay Jones. Those guys, I'm not saying they can take the top off the defense or a hidden figure type of guy, Andy Jones, come to this team and just blow up the whole entire map. Things that we got to figure out, right? Yeah, so there's things that we're gonna be able to do, man, at the end of the day. This is a good question from How About Them Cowboys. Any thoughts about getting a punt returner or kick returner guy? Allegedly, McDuffie supposed to be that guy. Allegedly, somehow, some way that maybe year 3, how he say it, maybe. We just never know. These guys come back with a vengeance. Maybe Lucky Whitehead can gain another 5-10 pounds. Maybe he looked very much better. You know, things are just things that we gonna have to figure out. You know, D.D. Westbrook. Yeah, Blake putting that name out there. D.D. Westbrook. Shout out to Tally as well, Landon. What's up? Yeah. What's up to you too as well, fam? Yeah, Frankie G, what do you want as our backup quarterback? Like I said, I want Kellen Moore to be out there. I want Moore to be out there. I want Moore because of the fact that he knows this system. He knows the offense. I don't want to see Mark Sanchez out there. We saw what he did against the Eagles. Quincy McDuffie, yeah, that's the name. Yeah, so those are things that that comes to my mind, you know. And yeah, he will be cheap. Mark Sanchez better not come back, right? Only time I want to see Mark Sanchez is in another team. Shout out to Sarah Green. Shout out to you. One of the fortunes of following the channel. Get people that stick with you from day one, right? Go get champions. I think that's how you say your name. There has been talk of Deshaun Jackson. What do you think about that? Oh man, Deshaun gone, man. Deshaun Jackson is gone. He's gone to the Buccaneers, I believe. I thought he signed on that contract, and if not, he reneged. And I would love to see him on his team, but I don't think he's reneged on that offer, whatever they had to offer to him. So I feel like if we can get a speedy guy, maybe Quincy McDuffie is that guy. I don't know. I'm waiting to see him play against NFL competition. Then I'll make that judgment. Rayos, with all moves that the NFC East has made, I still have faith that the boys have the better team. Yeah, we can look. This is how you know, Cowboy Nation, we have a better team, and not trying to sully or excoriate the Eagles or the Giants. We just go by position, right? Out of this division, who has the best wide receiver? One can argue and say, okay, Odell Beckham is better than Daz, right? Who's bigger? Who's stronger? Who's going to be able to have the better record and stuff like that? Maybe you can say A-B, but Dez is going to be able to be just more formidable, right? If you just think about it collectively, right? So technically, out of this division, Dez is going to be a better receiver collectively than, or he can bring more things to your team than what a Odell Beckham can do, right? Who had the best offensive lineman? Cowboys. Who had the better quarterback rating, quarterback decision making, and pass and pressure and all that stuff? Dak Prescott. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and talk about this and that and this is what's going to happen, this and there. But you got to be able to be staying on the field in order to beat the Cowboys. If you can't stop the tank with no key, and that's Zeke the Freak, then that's just the end of the question there. The Cowboys are going to be the better team out of this division. I said it last year. It's going to be the same this year. Now, of course, the Giants did put some more receivers out on the outside. Well, let's see how they gel, before we count that as a plus. Let's see what the Eagles going to do, how that's going to gel. These new guys, we still got our same core on offense. We didn't lose really pretty much anybody outside of the Ron Learys of the world and Doug Free. Didn't lose nobody else. And then on top of that, we played some games without Ron Leary before. You know, that's just the bottom line. This is from Sean Johnson. Odell would never be better than Dez. Must I say more? Eddie Clutch. What you saying? Bonbon Manjovic. I cannot say his name. Is the GOAT. I'm gonna have to look him up. Just hit me up and see. You know, hit me up and see once this video been posted, and I with that same message, and I'll be able to look him up for you. Dak tweeted us from Sarah Green. Dak tweeted yesterday. He's glad he still have his weapon for next season. That's right, man. Something about continuity that you just can't count out. You got to put continuity on a map, and those are things that's just the hidden element. The continuity with his coaching staff is just remarkable. We must say, although we don't like Jason Garrett to the highest level, but the kid only had one losing season. As we all know, that it came about. That out of that losing season birthed the Zeke, the Freak, and the Dak Prescott and the Tappers of the world, and Malik Collins. So even out of that losing season, we got some good out of that. You know, it's just that we don't win in a classy type of way. You know, the Patriots type of way. We don't go out and dominate, and one can argue we don't do the things that the Steelers did and or the Ravens did in the past, of just dominating their division or dominating their conference or whatever. You know, but. Not just trying to be a homer or anything, but this team is coming. It's something about continuity, and that's something that's going to go a long way, guys. To trust the process. All right, let me see what else we got in the box. Super Tiger 2607. Ain't nobody covering Jordan Matthews because he got brick hands. You're right. The guy cannot catch a cold butt naked sliding down a pole in Alaska. You cannot catch anything. That's who Jordan Matthews is. Him and Nelson or whatever, Aguilar or whatever, they can't catch anything. I'm not trying to rain on. I'm just spitting facts, man. Shout out to Patrick Taylor's in the house. Shout out to your fam. J Wad. I'm not gonna read that he's dumb. I think J Watt is smart. You know, you study your opponents. You know, you got to be able to understand. Just like playing chess. Just like playing chess, man. You got to figure out what your opponent is doing and what's the talk track. Because I'm quite sure that the Eagles Nation's got somebody that having the same type of talk track in their groups and circles, and they got a Cowboys fan in there just talking about, hey, Winston do this or Winston do that. You know. Yeah, but it is what it is. Let me see. Max. Continuity is the reason why we still haven't traded for Shelton Richardson. Let me put a placeholder on Shelton Richardson. It could be a process. It could be a situation whereas if we don't get the parts that we need during the draft, then we may do a reach for a player like a Sheldon Richardson after the draft. You know, you get what I'm saying? Let's say if we go with the aspect of grabbing DBs and safeties and stuff like that during the draft, and we just miss on a defensive tackle or a dominant defensive end. Then you get to Sheldon Richardson. You still got that card in your back pocket, and if you're still holding tight to Romo, you just never know how this thing can, how the sky or the bottom can fall off, and you can go out and grab a Sheldon Richardson if the price is right, you know, or you can do a trade, or you can package things together. Look, right now, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the draft on this. Right now, the 28 pick that we have just don't look sexy right now, right? Just don't look good right now. A lot of teams looking at it, oh, the Cowboys got a 28 pick. It just don't look sexy. But let me tell you, when that 28 pick becomes to starting to look sexy, it's when a team done already picked, and they done already picked at the 20th pick, or they already picked at the 22nd pick, and they need that 28 pick to pick the player that they want. Then all of a sudden they say, hey, you know, the 28 pick got a little shape to it, you know, got a little body on it, you know. Kind of like that 28 pick now. Like the way it walks and moves in the shadows of the night, you know. And then they try to say, hey, 28 pick, how about I throw you my second round pick, next year's third and next year's second, you know, whatever, you know. Just me just speaking off the top of my head. For that 28 pick, that's when the 28 pick, or how can I throw you a Sheldon Richardson for the 28 pick, you know. Things like that, or throw in, hey, if possible, if you guys can give me Romo, you know. Things like that becomes a little bit more sexier when the draft hit. And I like to say this saying all the time. You get it from Jerry. If you can learn a lot of things from Jerry Jones, right? Deadlines make deals. You know, once a deadline hit and you got a deal on the table, a deadline will make a deal any day. Trust me, book that. A deadline makes deals. So if you can figure out a way to make it close to a deadline, then teams say, you know what, man, we're gonna be garbage anyway. I'll throw you my one. I'll throw you my two. I'll throw you my third round pick for this player, you know, so that we can get where we need to be at next year. Watch that. Book that. Deadline make deals. Let me see what we got. Loke. Carroll plays deep passes very well. Technique is clean and would like some taller outside. Yeah. Loke, you must be looking at the same film that I looked at. When I looked at Carroll play, small intermediate routes, 50-50. But I watched him play on the long ball. And let me tell you who he gave a fit to. He gave Terrence Williams a hell of a fit. Some games that I look back on the all 22 film, he gave Terrence Williams a hell of a fit. Now, granted, and I mean granted, if he comes out next year and he's a bust or what have you, just a horrible pick for a 7-year veteran, which I lightly doubt, because I really feel that Will McClay is gonna have that rookie just in his back pocket, on his, you know what, every day, that he's gonna show up and show out, and then you're on the spotlight now, baby. It's a guarantee that you're gonna have at least 5 to 6 primetime games. And if you're a primetime type of player, then you're gonna want to bring your A type of game. Not trying to say that the Eagles not in the primetime light, but you got elements and a lot of elements involved, and it's cold up there and all that good stuff, you know. It is what it is. All right, so what else we have? 2.0, in my opinion. He says, this is from How About the Cowboy Nation. Yeah. Now, like I say, Sheldon Richardson is not a choir boy at all. Yeah, he's going 125 miles per hour in his Ferrari on a bridge with a blunt in his hand, with I think a child in his seat. You know, I'm not saying that that's somebody that we're trying to entertain or that's on our team, but push comes to shove, if you don't get the player that you want in the draft and you feeling like that you are very close to winning that big ring, you know, then you're gonna do a little strange for a little change. You're gonna do something, you know. You're gonna figure out a way, you know, to get that player on your team. But at the end of the day, we still trust the process. Let me see what else we have here. Frankie G. I hate Nolan Carroll signing until I see the contract details. Yeah, very suitable for us, right? The contract is everything. Super Tiger 2607. I like the signing as of late. Yeah. These signings, man, there's nothing new under the sun. We've been doing the same thing for a while now. Just grabbing these players that nobody really know about, right? We snatched David Irvin off the Kansas City team. You know, I think they probably was en route of releasing him or whatever. He was on the practice squad. We went out down there and said, look, we want this guy. You know, Jack Crawford, where did he come from? We want this guy. You know, Terrell McLean. These guys, man, we were going around snatching, and now we're crying about they're gone. J.J. Wilcox, 3rd or 4th round running back / safety. He's gone, but look what we done with that, you know. So Super Tigers had that Adoree Jackson love, man. Everybody loved this kid, and trust me, the guy jumps out on the screen, but he's no press man coverage corner. I mean, he's a project type of player too as well. And if you want to deal with a project, give me Peppers, man. Give me Peppers at this point. At first I was saying Jackson, but if you're going to deal with a project, give me Peppers at this point. But if not, then because at least Peppers can come down in the box and hit you. You might miss on coverage, but at least he's going to come down in the box and hit you. I think that we still, man, forget that, man. Buda Baker's out there. You got Eddie Jackson and Malik Hooker. You got a lot of players out there that can be world for your team, or for our team. So there's things out there that we need to really focus on. Would you trade Zeke for LeGarrette Blount, Law Nation? Oh, but I digress. J Wad, who are you? I can read that comment and move too fast. All right, Blake Kayvon Frazier, I like what he done. Number 35. I hope he changed his number. Maybe 35 looked too lethargic on him, looked kind of big, what have you. Maybe he can change his number, he'll stand out a little bit better. I think numbers plays a major role on how you look like on the field. You're right. This is from Bobby J. You're right. Law Nation. I would really look at Peppers. Yes. Sarah Green, I am laughing too. Right, you gotta laugh sometimes, man, at this. Why do they wait on Dak Prescott to fall, but expect Wentz to be better? Draft prospect, man. Look, nobody wants to be wrong on that sheet of paper. Technically, collectively, and all that good stuff. Wentz got a higher ceiling. The other kid got an even higher ceiling than all of them. And that was the guy that went to the LA Rams. I forgot his name. That's just that quick. Man, my brain is going on me. Just how horrible he played. I can't even remember his name. You guys know he had the small hands. What's his name? Played for the LA Rams. The guy that was high as quarterback. The next coming of Troy Aikman / Tom Brady. Jared Goff. Shout out to Jalen Smith coming in through the clutches. Look, he have a higher prospect, a higher ceiling, allegedly. But people, they let you know people are wrong, and that's why they still throw shade at Dak Prescott, stating that he can't do this and he can't do that. But as we all know, men lie, women lie, but that tape and film don't lie. And them records that kid is gonna set off next year or this year or whatever, not gonna lie. Tavon Austin, Law Nation. That is who his name is. Nah, who's Tavon Austin? That's the receiver from LA. D.D. Westbrook in the 3rd round. That would be a miracle. I would love for him to fall to us in the 3rd round. Law, you should have call-ins like Skype stuff. I would love to talk to the Cowboys with you. Yeah, I do have call-ins. Just don't have it set up now, but maybe tomorrow, if I'm doing this channel, I can have a call-in where you guys can lament to me your passion, your goals, your dreams, and all that good stuff. Who you falling for, who do you want in the draft and stuff like that. Maybe I can do that, tomorrow or something, if you guys still willing to be able to talk to me and stuff like that and go over some stuff. Yeah, have the call-in number in the description box. Let me see. It was right over here. Let me see if I got it over here. Hell, I don't even know the number by heart, my little code or what have you. Oh man, maybe the wifey threw it away. But yeah, we can talk on air, There's nowhere to now when I put the number out there, you guys better call. Last time I put the number out there, about 1 or 2 people called. And then one guy called and he just want to talk some noise about some nonsense. Yeah, there you go. This is 515-604-9300. Yeah, I think I had it somewhere right here. There you go, right here. Yeah. What you like, OBI from UConn at 28? Oh man, not at 28 though. Not at 28. Not at 28. But I like his tape. I like his film. I like what he does out there on the field. He's aggressive. Approach the ball. Got good range on him though. You know, I like him. You know. Follow this channel because of Mark Holmes. Shout out to you, Curtis, and Curtis. Shout out to you, man. I can't say your last name. Bald. I think it's Bald. See, I knew I was going to Ball Danger. I can't read today. But shout out to you, man. Thank you for following in. Dak reminds me of Steve McNair. Hey, he does. A little warm moon. You know, got to throw a little warm moon in there. Sarah Green, Texas, give us J.J. Watt for Romo. That would be a nice, but I will be dreaming. No, you will be in heaven dreaming because that is not going to happen. I don't see that this kid is going to do that at all. J.J. Wilcox for Tony Romo. That will be life in heaven. But to get up under that contract for one, and then for us to be able to have him on our team, J.J. Wilcox, and then match him, that's just Super Bowl sketched in stone right there. You don't even have to just bypass the whole entire season and put us right in the Super Bowl. I'm just playing with you guys, but you still got to play. How about them Cowboys? I follow this channel because of you, Mark Holmes, and Cowboys Jobu. Shout out to Mark Holmes and Jobu. And I think right now Jobu is getting his refill. You guys know he's getting his refill, right? Dak reminds me of a Donovan McNabb from Blake, but smarter. I can live with that. Oh, Jalen Smith says, answer the phone. Hey, man, I never even called in. Let me see what I can do, man. Let me see what I can do to get on the line. Bear with me. Give me a few seconds. I gotta type my system in and stuff like that, to log in and stuff like that. Now, I don't want no foolery now from you guys, because you guys will get the business. You guys know what I mean when I'm talking about the business, right? I hope I can find my password. My wife done threw away my letter that I had up here as far as that phone. So I kind of had that password. Give me a few seconds. I'm gonna have it all set up in a few seconds. You guys caught me pretty much with my pants down when I'm trying to do this on a whim. I'll be right back. I'm almost there.
by freeconferencecall.com. Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. If you are the host, press star now. Otherwise, please wait and you will be joined into the conference. Please enter your PIN followed by the pound or hash. If you do... Thank you. There is one other participant in the conference. Please announce yourself.
So, Law Nation. Okay. Yeah. Jalen Smith, actually. Yeah, man, you too, reading all those comments. Yeah. All right. Okay.
All right, guys, I got the call in right now, and we're listening to 817. State your name and let's go. Let's get it going.
Well, in the comment section, I'm Jalen Smith, but my name is Josh.
All right, we got Jalen Smith, aka Josh, in the house. Before we start, hey, people in the comment box, let me know if you guys are able to hear my guy, Jalen Smith. Yes. I don't know, man. See if you can say some stuff, man, Jalen and or Josh, and we better get things going. Let's see if they're able to hear you. Yeah, Bobby J said they can hear you, man. So tell me, man, what's on your mind, man? What's going on? What do you think the Cowboys should have done during this free agency? Or what is your vision? What do you see Will McClay and Stephen Jones doing in the future versus Jerry Jones? Let me know what you got on your mind.
On my mind, first of all, is the offensive line and Doug Free mostly. Because people saying that we're not the best O-line in the league anymore, even though we do have, in my opinion, the best center guard and tackle in the league. Lyle is a stud. Chaz Green or Looney could come in for the right tackle position, or we could draft someone if we needed to. But other than that, defense is actually looking pretty hot. If we could just draft a couple corners, a couple DNs, like you were talking about, a Sheldon Richardson type guy.
Right.
Anything like that could, really help our team. And with Terrence Williams and Bryce Butler coming back out, as in the tight end position in the future, I don't really think we have any problems on offense right now.
Most certainly. Like I say, you cannot beat continuity. That's something that's just created with time. And that's something that if you just look at, if I can transition over to maybe basketball, right? Golden State is not Golden State of last year, right? I don't know if you follow Golden State Warriors or anything of that nature. They added Durant, although, he's out now, but they just not the same team they were last year or the year before. So I just think that continuity plays a major role, or even the Miami team. I'm jumping all the way to basketball, but something that's major with continuity, and that's just something that I think that this staff that looked at models of the Patriots of the world. They looked at models of the Steelers, not saying that it's a copycat league anyway, but they looked at the model of just keeping that consistency with the coaching staff. And just something that's remarkable. How do you feel about that,
I agree. Continuity is key, and consistency, because, you could be Carson Wentz or you could be Dak Prescott. We don't know how either of them are going to come next year. Or you could be, what's his name, Osweiler on the Broncos. He played great on the Broncos because he was with their system, and as long as we keep our system correct, then we won't turn out like Osweiler on the Texans. You know what I'm saying? And so as long as we keep everything the same and get people who are going to work in our system, like Stephen Pia, because his home prime in the Bears was a 3-4 package, and that's where he is now. So as long as we keep getting guys like that and Nolan Carroll, we're going to be in good shape.
Fantastic, man. That's exactly what I feel, Jalen Smith. So, or Josh. But the thing is, too, and I'm just going to correct somebody. I guess Jay Watt is in the chat box. He's saying that Cowboy fans are calling Carson Wentz pretty much a bust. I don't think that he is. I think that the kid got very much upside. If he was on our team, we'd be highly glad and happy about him being on our team. So it's not that we calling him a bust, but from where he was drafted at and his level of competition, that he played at in college or what have you, it just seems as though he do have a major upside. And think about this: Troy Aikman first year he was 1-15. If there's any bright line in the whole saying for those Eagle fans out there, or silver lining, what have you. I think that, I'm not saying that the Eagles are in great shape with Carson, but I'm not calling him a bust, So just to clear that up, he's not a bust.
I agree 100%. He's not a bust. He's good. At the beginning of the season, he had like a 90 or 100-something passer rating. Him and Dak were neck and neck at the beginning of the season. I don't really know what happened in the middle of the season, but he's definitely a franchise quarterback for the Eagles. And I have nothing against Wentz. It's just the Eagles fans that are kind of annoying to me.
Right. The EDPs of the world, right? I saw his picture, man, or his YouTube channel, and I just laughed to high heavens. If you don't know who that is, you guys just type in EDP on YouTube, and you guys would just have a blast of laughing of his outlandish insights. But, yeah, man, any other things you would like to put out there on the air, where you from or how long you been a Cowboys fans and stuff like that?
Cowboys fan since day one, definitely. And other than that, there's not really much on my mind, I mean, I've really said what I got to say. Everything else is kind of self-explanatory. Everyone knows, the recent news with the Cowboys, so there's nothing for me to, there's no news for me to break, so everyone knows what's going on, and, Cowboys for life.
Amen to that, my brother from another mother. Yes, what I'm talking about. Cowboy Nation, Cowboys fan from life. Been there from day one. Probably grew up with the silver and blue in his blood. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about right there. Well, hey, Josh, man, thank you for calling in, man. I got you saved in. It's 817. So whenever I see an 817, I'm picking up, and I know it's coming from the man with the plan, my brother. All right.
Thanks, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. Bye.
Bless.
Bless. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so that's what I'm talking about, guys. People like that, you know, you just can't just create fandom from nowhere. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody like that, just born and raised, living the die-hard Cowboys American dream, and we just got to put a Super Bowl ring in sight so that we can rejoice all together, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Now, who else going to call in? Let me know. The numbers on top of the screen. Just pour out what you think about the football season, the directions of the team, where we should go, where we will go, things that we need to take a look at collectively as it relates to the Cowboy Nation. Just let me know. Yes, Sean Johnson said the guy on the phone is my boy. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think Wentz is a bust. He's just not as good as Dak Prescott. That's from Frankie G. Yeah, man. Hey, man, we all entitled to our opinions with that. And you know, a person. Shout out to Super Tiger. Good night too as well. All right. So as I like to say, I'm not in the mind of changing anybody's opinion. Those who are convinced against their will is of the same opinion. Still, all I'm saying is that we must pay attention to the people that's in our division. We must figure out where are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, what are they accountable for, and stuff like that. So that's how you just better your whole entire, you know, your whole entire division, just knowing your opponent. In my opinion, that's how you got to look at it, things. Yeah, so let me see who else in the chat box. J-Wad, is fair fight now after next season there. Then you can start comparing Wentz and Carson and Dak for real. Yeah, I always like to give the 3-year rule. And that's from one of the greatest coaches of all time, Bill Parcells. He said, hey, you can't rate a player from year one. Now, there's tendencies that you can't ignore, but you can't rate that player from year one. You got to be able to say, hey, okay, without a shadow of a doubt, you know, year 3, Byron Jones got to show us something for me, right? Year 3, Carson Wentz to their team, they got to do something, you know. Who else? Year 3, AB got to do something, you know. Let me see, this is from Max. Long Nation, do you live in Jackson? Yes, I live in Jackson. And who else? We got game managers don't come back from 21 points down. That's from B Peppers. Yeah, they don't, you know. Who's that? Butterman? Bud Me. Yeah, that's all I can say from there. Yes. I don't know what you're saying about that, but Booger left now. No Booger there, man. Yeah, man, I'm just playing with you. But Bobby J. Johnson, Dak has a determination and best he can be. You're right. Fair enough for Bill. You know, labeling Dak Prescott as a game manager is just wrong. Be peppers. Yeah. Oh, you're right. So there's so many other things, man. Let me see what we got out here. All right, guys. So South, been a part of the Cowboy Nation for 1 second. I don't know who he's referring to. All right. Why didn't we get Goff a free agent? Who is Goof? Yeah, guys. What else we got out there, man? What we got out there, man? Because if not, that's been my time. And you know how it is. You know, when it gets down to my time, I thank you guys for yours. One other thing. Got to stay tuned to the draft. I'm just going to recap for what I said earlier. There's always a second wave. Think, guys, there's always a second wave in this free agency. And that's going to be after the draft, when every team done did what they got to do. As far as drafting the players, and they got to free up the roster. And there's a second wave. They're going to release some players to fill in the players that they drafted. Then the third wave will be the players that they released far as whatever reason, after the training camp and stuff like that. The glory and the beauty of it is that we played a Hall of Fame game, so we'll have a jump or edge. We'll see our players first because we're going to enter in training camp before any other team, because due to the aspect of it, we're going to be actually getting out there. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. We're going to be getting out there to actually to practice and stuff like that. But that's been my time, guys. I thank you guys for yours. And remember, you're listening to Nothing But the Bass. May God bless until I see you guys again. How about them Cowboys? I'm out. Peace. All right. And like I say, I'm gonna do a quick show on the Facebook Live or what have you following this one. So I thank you guys again. I'm out this time for real. Shout out to y'all.